Hello YouTubers, this is Trainman122. So I have another request to do an SD40-2 coal drag. And I wanted to take a little bit of liberty with this request. So basically, there is a type of service you can do where it takes a coal train from the Cumberland Yard up to a place called Shaw Mine. You load up the train and you take it back down. The issue with this is that it's a very long one. It's about 2 to 3 hours. So I want to try and separate it up into 2 or 3 episodes and see how I can work on that. So, and I also want to see if it's something that can be done properly with, if you guys seem to be interested in it or not. But in any case, let's go ahead and start with this. So this request comes from a user by the name of... Oh, sorry. Let's get that there. There we go. The user by the name of Southern Pacific 4449, named after the GS4 Daylight used by Southern Pacific Railroad. So he has requested this, and I thank you very much for the request. I'd like to see a few more. Just get a little bit creative if you want to. Make them challenges if you want to. I'd like to hear a little bit more out of you guys. Now let's go ahead and continue with this. So now, for this, I don't know why, but coal trains always remind me of winter with a little bit of snow. It might just be my own memories of seeing coal trains going by in the wintertime or something like that, but I don't know, it's a thing. Not everybody gets to see snow, so it might be nice for some viewers to see what railroading looks like in the snow, even if it's only virtual, doesn't actually exist. So the train we're doing today, U876, I believe the U stands for unit, because this is a unit train. It's a unit stands for, it means basically the entire train consists of one type of freight car or one type of commodity. You'll usually see a unit train as, I believe intermodals are considered unit trains. Coal trains are unit trains because they're all coal. I believe I've seen a unit boxcar train too. That I think is mostly used in Canada, where they have the paper train, because it's all boxcars, it's all paper and something like that. But in any case, 876A is the trip from Cumberland Yard to Shaw Mine, including backing into Shaw Mine. Now, this train, it's not massively long, however, it is a good size, so I don't see the point in backing down a massive train like that. It can be very difficult to push a train backwards and have somebody on the rear end doing all that, watching your shove. It gets a little more difficult with adding more weight like that. I don't know why they did it this way, but it's... Well, I'm inclined to believe CSX is actually doing it this way. It doesn't matter. It's from Cumberland to Shaw Mine. This little spur is Shaw Mine. B is loading of the train. C is pulling the train from Shaw Mine back onto the siding track that's over here on the main line. And D is taking it from that siding track all the way back to Cumberland. As you can see, I've already done these 3. It doesn't take as long as you think to load the coal train and bring it up onto the siding. That's about an hour's worth of video right there, give or take. But, I'm just going to go ahead and do the part A, which starts at 1432, and we get to the coal mine at 1600. So, as you can clearly see, it does take some time, but hopefully if I run this train right, it won't take too long. It may be a 2 or 3 part video. You'll probably have found out by now because you're looking at it in the future. But I'm going to see if this is something that you guys are interested in. Just 2 or 3 parts. So we want to set our controlling unit with unit coupled at long hood N. Oh goody, we have YN2s today. Both YN2s. Usually the rear unit is a YN3. There's a 50-50 chance of that, I'm sure. And I'm going to go ahead and use the map. Because, let's go ahead and bring it up here. This scenario is horrible with the switches. And I say that because it doesn't very clearly explain what you're meant to do. As of right now, I have a marker telling me to go, I believe it's right about, let's see, that's that. I believe it tells me to go right about here. Oh, there it is. There's the marker, right there. Once you get to that spot, it doesn't tell you what else to do. It tells you to go to another spot, but the simulator never tells you about the certain track numbers. You know, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yard track 3, main line 1 and 2. It doesn't tell you any of that. There's nothing that describes that. Anything. So when you get here, it says continue to location, and it'll say go via this location, but it doesn't tell you how to get to that location. It just points you in a direction. Well, as everything is currently set up, I am set up to go through this switch here and end up over here. And I was always believing this was the right way to go. But actually, let's go up here. The marker's actually going to be somewhere right here, which does not connect to where to the track that I was about to go on. I'm actually supposed to flip that switch. And I'm going to flip this one too, just for simplicity reasons. And I also need to flip a bunch of switches to get me out of this yard. So this one needs to be flipped. That all seems to be correct. It's there. That's good. That's not good. The other one's fine. The other one's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this, do that, see if the changes took effect. They did. I wonder how I tell if that one's correct. That's how. That one definitely needs to be switched. That one's fine. That one's now fine. That one is now switched over. That one is now going straight. Good, 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 good. Now I believe this will be going in the correct direction. Hopefully. I'm going to go ahead and set up the train. Now I've already done my locomotive inspection. I checked the handbrake. Checked all the headlights. I did it off camera. I apologize if that was something you wanted to stick around for, but in any case, here we go. There may be a point in this video where I decide to go quiet and let you guys enjoy the ride because, well, for a long journey it can be hard to keep talking, and you feel obligated to keep talking, and it just doesn't really work out that well. So after a certain point I'm just going to turn off my microphone and let you guys enjoy the view while I run this train. There's also something else you might want to note. There is actually a switching crew right over there. They're running around doing their switching crew thing. I could actually, you know what, I will. I'm going to pull up right about here. I'm just going to do something a little bit nice. This is not normal operations by any means, but I just want to do something that might be of interest to you guys. Basically, they pull up this track right here. In fact, here they come. And I figured, you know what? Why don't I just like sit here and watch them come in? Might be nice. So let's wait for them. That headlight setup is wrong. Only his ditch lights are on. His headlight is actually off. That's wrong. He takes off in a flash. And they're gone to do whatever it is they're doing. That's nice. But that is all that I'm going to do for that. And now I'm going to get back in here. Let's do that. There we go. Release the brakes. I'm going to try and get it out of the yard and get it to the right marker before I decide to shut off my microphone. Now see, as I said, it's telling you go via location left route. That doesn't tell me anything. You know, I'm assuming it means go to the left here. In fact, I've already checked this. It does mean go left here. But left route doesn't tell me throw that switch. In fact, that doesn't even tell me to stop over there. That should tell me to stop, throw the switch, then go via left route. That's what it should do, but it doesn't. It just says go via that location, you pass it, and then it says go left route. Okay. Doesn't really give you enough time to stop, but so be it. I already looked at this ahead of time, so I know exactly what it's going to do, and I believe I am on the correct path. By the way, that's a little dirt trail over there. Yeah. Gotta be careful. There are small railroad crossings where cars come through. It's mostly railroad workers' cars, but you get the idea. Alright. Looks like I won't be coming up on the signal or the speed milepost until sometime in the city. It's gonna be a little while. Well, we're under 450 yards. Yeah, I apologize for that. Sim hates going past this one spot. I couldn't tell you why. It just does. Yeah, there it is. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw another switch. I think. Oh, no. Oh, alright. It threw the switch for me. So you see what I mean about that happening. If you were able to see that the flag on the switch stand went from red to green. Green meaning I'm going straight, red meaning I'm going into the curve here. It just turned on me. It turned for me. That is a manual switch. That is not a dispatcher-controlled switch. But sometimes it does it. Sometimes I have to just physically get out and throw it myself. But the simulator doesn't tell you when you need to do which one or the other. It gets very annoying. I have a lot of complaints about this simulator, but for all its faults, there are a lot of good memories. Really good memories. I mean, look at that rooftop right there. Just a nice dusting of white across the unit's top there. It's beautiful. All the coal cars are empty. Nothing about them. And sorry we're kind of crawling here. It's under 15. Well, I'm still technically within restricted speed rule here. It's stopping within half the range of vision short of everything. So I shouldn't technically be doing 11, I guess. I mean, half the range of vision comes on pretty... Well, I do have quite a bit of vision here. So maybe I am okay. But I hear that usually most railroaders don't do more than 5 or 7 miles an hour within a restricted speed zone. Also, I call it restricted speed. It's actually yard limits, but yard limits are kind of like restricted speed, except yard limits are a constant restricted speed. I believe there's only few occasions where you're allowed to do more than restricted speed, and I believe that to be emergency situations. Alright, 600 yards and closing. That's another 15-mile-an-hour marker. I guess in this area it just is 15 miles an hour. Alright. I'm coming within a 1,000 yard distance of the next signal, which I believe is a dwarf signal for exiting the yard. And that actually might be close to where that marker is set up. Let's crawl a little bit faster, Huh? That's a safe place for barrels. Yeah. It's probably concrete corrosive barrels. Safe place for them. Alright, that switch is set for me. Well, now it is. Once again, went from red to green without me touching it. That switch is making me go to the left. I'm gonna follow this. See where it takes me. This is right about where I would do less than 10 miles an hour. This is a tight switch. So I'm going to crawl on it. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's setting me in the correct direction. I'm gonna leave these switches alone and I'm gonna keep crawling. Man, I didn't even know you could do curves like this in a 3-axle. Thought you could only do it in a Jeep. Sheesh. Cumberland Yard exit signal. I knew it was an exit signal. I guess it just wasn't at the location I thought it was. So let's try not to go 12 miles an hour. Let's go back to 10. Because even though my locomotives are through that switch, doesn't mean that my coal cars are going to be okay with that switch. I mean, they are two-axled, and they articulate better than a locomotive, but eh. Just gonna be nice and easy about this. Alright, so even though that I see a 25 mile an hour markers within 300 yards, you're not allowed to go at a higher speed until you actually pass it with all of your train. It's a little bit hard to explain. Basically, oh wait, what's that? Now that's a yard signal. White over red over white. I believe that to mean restricted speed passing signal. So I'm allowed past the signal, but at a restricted speed diverging. Okay, let's go with that. Once again, simulator doesn't come with no signal explanations whatsoever. I'm just supposed to know this stuff, and luckily I do. Didn't think you needed a railroad school education to play a simulator, but okay. What's going on back there? We're crawling it nice and easy. So now there is actually a train waiting for us to do this crossover up here. He's gonna have to wait. So now these are what is known as automatic or CTC switches. Radio controlled. Basically, the dispatcher has control of these ones because we are now on the main line. Main line is always controlled by a dispatcher, except for certain locations where there might be a switch or a siding, something like that. I know there are some locations where the main line has a manual switched siding. They're rare, though, because people typically don't want manual switchers on a main line where trains are doing 50 plus. Oh. Alright, simulator didn't like that, but that's okay. Alright, we've already passed the 25 mile an hour marker, speed limit sign, but I have to wait until the rear of my train gets past that sign. Normally, I'd have a type of speedometer or a counter. Something that counts how many feet I've gone past the sign, and it's pretty simple. When I receive the paperwork for my train, it usually comes with information about how many feet your train is, how long it is, so forth. You use the counter to determine how far past one point you've gone. It's a bit like a step counter, but it just counts the rotation of the wheels in feet. Alright, I'm gonna leave my bell on for this one. Kids might be playing on these intermodal cars, and oh, that'd be horrible if one of them jumped over it and ran right into my path. They need to know I'm here. Even though they shouldn't be playing on intermodal cars, they might. Sorry, I didn't see that crossing there. It was kind of hidden. But now our rear end has passed the point that is safe for 25-mile-an-hour travel. So now I can speed her up and get out of town. And I believe the other train is also moving. Yes, he is. He most definitely is. Stop doing that. Alright. We're out of town and climbing the mountain. We're on a 0.3% grade and chugging along doing alright. And I believe it's going to be at this point that I turn off my microphone and just let you guys enjoy the sights and sounds that this simulator has to offer up until I pull over at the siding at the top of the mountain near Shaw Mine. So, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it has been some time since the beginning of this video, but I am now at a red light. And that appears to be... does that say 5 miles away? I think it does. Do I need to request for permission past it? Let's try that. Request for pass. Not getting any word here. All those switches up ahead are controlled by CTC dispatcher, so there's no way for me to throw any of these switches over here. Why do I have a red light? Denied, no route available. Yeah, I don't have permission to pass it. Okay. Turn off the wipers, that's getting annoying. We'll check the map. That's where I am. And that's the signal I'm sitting at. So what is past me? That's a green signal right there. Why would I be going on the left side? Oh, I'm waiting for a train? Did I just get here that fast? Okay. Odd place to stop it, but I believe this is where we're going to have to cut this in pieces. I will wait for the train to show up, but after the train shows up and departs and I get a signal, I'm going to go ahead and chop up the video. Huh. Well, train, let me go ahead and apply a little bit more. Not handle off, full service, there we go. I apologize, there's no notches or anything like that. Nothing clicks into place here. Just want to make sure I don't throw the thing to an emergency or something like that. Alright, full service there. I'm just going to apply independent just because I feel like it. Probably doesn't need it. Alright, well, let's have a little look around. So, oh, he's hauling. Alright, back inside the train. Ooh. I don't know what happened there, and I don't think I want to know. Let's try that again. Yeah, everything's fine. I don't know what that was about. It's a good shot. No. There it goes. That's not what I meant to do. Let's not move the train right now while I'm not inside of it. Yep. So now I have a slow clear diverging at, I believe it to be 25 miles an hour. Or was it 10? I'm probably going to crawl up on it. Yeah, there it is, 10 miles an hour. So yeah, I'd have a slow clear to crawl into that at 10 miles an hour. But I'm going to pause it right here. Hope you had some fun. See you in part 2.